Alright kids, today we are going to create a maze. So our first step is going to be to fold our paper and start to tear out small sections. You just want to tear out some interesting shapes. You don't want, probably not just a plain circle. You might want to make some shapes smaller or some shapes bigger. If you rip out a shape and you don't really like the way it looks, you can always reach inside and tear out a little bit more from the front. I tore 3 shapes, not in a row, kind of off center from one another, but you can tear your 3 shapes any way you want. Next, we're gonna pick out a Sharpie or a marker or a crayon or a pencil, just something to write with, and we're gonna create a line for our maze. This line is going to be one long continuous line. That means your line is not going to stop. It's going to be one long line. And we're going to be drawing around all of our shapes. You're going to start around one, draw around it, and then turn around and go backwards. You should not be touching the line together. So your line should not touch at all. I'm tracing around my shapes and I am not making a very thick space in between. My lines are almost touching, but just not quite. Your lines could be spaced a little bit farther apart, but we want it to look interesting, so you don't want to make big, large gaps. Every now and then I might turn around and go backwards. I don't just want to draw circles around my shapes. I want to go around and make an interesting looking maze. Remember, you cannot cross over a line, but you can make a U-turn and go backwards. And you want to draw around all of your shapes. I might even start filling in some of the open spaces with some interesting loops, forwards, backwards, U-turns. And remember, this is one long line, so you never start a new line. If you pick up your pen or pencil, you have to start right back where you picked it up so that your line is one long, continuous line. To finish up, I'm just going to fill in my spaces. Remember, do not touch the line with your pen. None of the lines will be crossing over or intersecting. They will all be almost parallel to one another. And to finish out, if you have a brightly colored piece of construction paper, you can put it behind your shapes to create some positive and negative space and make your maze more interesting. Thank you guys. Good luck. Send me any questions that you might have on Schoology.